Well, hey family, this is Darlene. I am sitting here working on a linked necklace. I really like the link look. So I kind of got it started just so the video wouldn't be as long. So what I'm doing now, this is going to be a one layer linked necklace. And once I finish with it, my thought was to put charms in these different here, like in the spaces. And I'll see if that's something I want to do once I complete it. So I might just leave it, as is. But for right now, this is what it looks like. And it's just going to be a link necklace. So I cut a lot of pieces of wire, about 3 inches. So what I'm going to do now is you can see on each end, I'm going to put, these are the jump rings, those really thick jump rings. And I know there are rings like this that are completely closed off, but I don't have any. So I figured these are closed good enough, to where it won't come open. And these that I'm making with these jump rings, I'm keeping these necklaces for myself. So if I was making these with just the rings that, were soldered closed, welded closed, soldered closed, however they close them, more than likely this would be something that I would sell at an event or something. But because I am making it with jump rings, right? I don't want, you could probably see that. I don't want, and it don't look like, something will come loose, but you just never know. And my whole thing is too, though, when I'm selling somebody something, I don't want nothing falling apart on them, to the best of my ability. So for me, just knowing that I'm creating this using jump rings, and there is a possibility if the necklace is pulled or, just anything, it could fall off, right? So the customer won't know that, but I know that, right? So this one I'm making, and then I'm just kind of practicing with these links. So this is what I'm doing. I got my wire. So I'm gonna just take my pliers and make a nice little hoop on the end of it. And then I'm going to attach the jump ring here on the wire. And then I'm gonna just close the wire off nice and tight. I don't think I made a big enough hoop. Hold on. Let me take that a loose so I didn't make a big enough hoop on it. So what I'm going to do, go back, go up in a bigger part of the pliers here so I can make a bigger circle, and that hooks on. Now I can close it because I made the hoop big enough. So now I'm going to close it off so you can look at it and see that it's closed off. And I'm going to take another one of the vintage beads. I'm going to put that on there, right? So one of the vintage beads. I'm going to take my pliers and put it about right there. I'm going to bend that wire over to where it comes out looking like this. I'm going to take a jump ring. I'm going to slide that jump ring on. I'm going to hold the jump ring like this, and I'm going to start wrapping the wire. You see how I'm wrapping that wire around there like that? That's what I'm going to do because I just want to close it off. And then it's difficult doing it from this position, but I'm going to try to get it done. I'm going to try to videotape it so you can get an idea of how I'm doing this. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to close the wire down. And I want this much wire on here because the holes are big on the beads, and I'm using 20 millimeter beads. 20 millimeter beads, 18 gauge wire. So I just put another bead on. And then that made my necklace even longer, right? So I'm going to take another piece of wire, and I'm going to do a big enough hoop on the end. I'm going to take the jump ring, put it on there, close off the wire. Like so. Make sure it's all the way closed. And then I'm going to use one of these beads. So we'll put this on here. And then you get the idea of what the necklace is going to look like. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the wire at the end of the bead, and then I'm going to fold the wire over so it ends up looking like this. I'm going to take a jump ring, slide the jump ring on, and it ends up like this. So I'm going to hold the jump ring. Let me see if I could hold this way, because as I'm holding it, it's like it's not, because of the position I have to sit in. So I'm going to wrap the wire. Let me do this first. Okay. I'm going to wrap the wire. And you can see. And then I'm going to take my pliers, close that piece of wire down. Like that. And then we have another bead. So I'm going to do this side now because I want to put one of these beads on the opposite side. Actually, I'm going to put a vintage so it'll match. So we'll put a vintage bead on this side. So I'm going to take my wire, and it's just the same process over and over again. I'm going to try to get through this video without making it too long. So I'm going to try to speed it up real quick. And we attach it. Close that wire off. Like that. Grab a bead. And then you got this. So you see how that is. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and link all these off camera, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So what I did is I went ahead and I linked it, the necklace, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two ends, I think. So this is what I came up with. That's pretty already. So this is what I was thinking. I'm going to take it so it's linked. I added also the little metal beads that I wrap with wire. So I'm going to take it. Now what I need to do once I finish with this, I'm going to come back, and the back of it, I'm going to put, I probably won't do that on camera, but here I'm going to take this hoop off of this jump ring, put a jump ring on this side, and then I'll put a lobster clasp. And then that way it can close off. So because what I did is I linked it, but then by the time I linked it, I wanted to add these two wire wrap metal beads on here. So what would happen is, because it's so far up the necklace, what would happen is the wire beads would be hitting. You can see where the wire beads would be hitting these pretty ones right here. So the prettier the bead, the bigger the bead, the nicer the bead should go down here where they can be seen, not hitting in the back, you know, back of the neck, or that we hit by the hair or something like such. They should always be the focal point, the big pretty beads like this. So by the time I decided they're way up here, so I said, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'll turn it around. And I am going to put the jump rings right here, one jump ring, and attach a pendant. And then I'll come back and do what I said I was going to do on the back, right? So I am going to take a jump ring. These are some tough jump rings, are open too. I like them like that. So let me see. Is that ambidextrous? Because I can't do very much with my left hand, and I'm right-handed. So it don't always work out for me. It'd be a real struggle. So I'm gonna open that up. That meaning the jump ring, and I'm gonna put it here so I can connect these two jump rings right here. And then I think what I'm gonna do, let's do this one. This one has a lot of color. So what I'm gonna have to do is put a separate jump ring. So let me see if I could hold this and then close it. That old left hand, baby, it don't be doing nothing for me. I'll be like, ooh wee. I do need to get it closed, so okay. And then what I'm gonna do, because you can see it's closed off, but let me see if I could take another jump ring. And maybe put that jump ring right here to where it connects here. So the way that I got this pendant, the bevel right here, I'm gonna have to turn this sideways to see if I can. Okay, so let me see something. And then now I can put the jump ring on there, right there in the middle. Let me try something. Let me see. Let me use it with, I'm gonna try these smaller jump rings first, just to see what it looks like. I'm gonna try just one. This one is pretty hard to open up too. So let's put this right here. And then we want to hang the pendant. Close that real good. Because my whole thing is I want to see what it looks like. And I don't like the way it looks. It's pretty like that, but I don't like the way it looks. It looks flimsy. So chances are it'll just have to be until I could see and then mess around with it, because I don't want this video to be too long, but I need to look at it and mess around with it and see how I could add the pendant. Because even if let me see something, even if I took this jump ring off, oh, that's another way you could open up the jump rings too. You could take your pliers, put it right at that little opening, and just start closing on to it, and it widens it up. Especially when it's these hard ones to open, so you can see it open it right on up. Okay, so let me see if I take these two together. That would probably work. Let me see. That would probably work, but it would have to be a pendant. Let me see. So the challenge is figuring out how to close it with the two jump rings, right? So what I would probably do, because I could see a pendant here, I could see something really pretty And it's just a matter of closing these two jump rings together to give it the look that I want. So once I close it together, right? Let me see something. If I close that together, now we just doing something. Don't be throwing stones at me. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it with some wire. I want to see something. And then see how this will come out looking. And see, this is how your pieces come out looking unique. It's like, just try stuff. If it don't work, take it loose and then try something else, right? So for me, I want this right here to be closed. I want this little part right here to look different. You know, I want something to be going on right here with a pendant. So I have to figure out how I want to close this to where it's not gapped. And it might at the end be a waste of wire, and then it just might not be. I'll see in a minute though. And see, that's the thing on when you're doing the video. I don't want the video to be too long because it's already like at 16 minutes. So let me see something. Because see, off camera, I'll sit here and struggle with this and try to figure this out for a whole hour. And then it'll come out looking like something. Wait. And then I just want to take it and roll it around on there, but it's not closing like I want it to. Let me see something. Oh, let me take it back this way and then take the wire through this side. So I'm going to take the wire through this side using these pliers right here. Circle that around. And then let me see. You probably can't see all this, and it's probably not meant for you to right now, but you'll get a chance to see it. So it's not exactly what I want. So what I was trying to do was like take these two jump rings, right? Fold them on top of each other and maybe just wrap the wire on there to have them close together, and then put the pendant, something like this. But because the wire, I can do this and I would have to do it off camera. So with this part, what I'm going to do for right now, I'm not going to be able to do it on camera. I'm going to just take the wire off. And then I'm going to start from scratch by putting the jump ring back on there. And then right now, for this video, it won't have a pendant. And that's okay. See, that's how you create some beautiful pieces. You just got to, think it through. Even though it don't seem like it should be, done that way, still do it that way. Who cares? That's how jewelry come out looking real different and pretty. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to link these two together. So that means I need to open up this old hard jump ring. So I'm going to just, I'm going to do it this way. Just take the pliers on here. Only because I'm just doing it right now for the video. Because again, I don't want the video to be real long. It's already at almost 20 minutes. Ooh, this was a messy little video. Okay. Well, you guys get to see the struggle behind the scene when I'm trying to figure something out. I really like the link chains. Not link chains, but the link necklaces. I really like these. Let's see if I can hold this back. So I'm gonna leave it like this for right now. And then I can see how I bent this little part on the bead down there. So it is a link chain. So off camera, I'm going to do some more to it. Because it didn't come out exactly like what I wanted to look like on video, and that's okay. So down here, with these jump rings, I'm gonna figure something out down here, to where these two jump rings can layer on top of each other, and then I could put a pendant, because I do want to put a pendant on here, right? It might not be this one. I'm just using this one for right now. And on the back of it, I'm going to take it this side apart, put one of the big jump rings on this side, and then I'll put a lobster clasp, and that'll close it off. And then this is like pretty really by itself. It really is. But you know what? We don't need one of these jump rings right here. Let's do this real quick. I'm going to take it apart like this. And this is not how you take these things apart. I'm just doing this on video. Now, if you need something quick, you could do it that way, but I just want to take it apart real quick. Okay. And I'm going to take this off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the bead to this jump ring. That closes up some of that space. Do that like that, and I'm gonna just close this. Okay, and see, when I close it, when I took one of the jump rings off, it makes it look even better, so you don't have all that space down here. So let me see, there's something I can do. Oh, you know what? And I'm not gonna do it in this video, but I can take the end of this bead, the end of this bead, and I could pull those together and create a nice hoop down here that I could attach the pendant to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the jump ring off. I'm going to connect these two beads with a piece of wire, and I'm going to take that wire. Let me see, do I got some wire? I'm going to take the wire. I'm going to bring those two together. I'm going to roll it down, and then I'm going to do it like some way like this, wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around, and then I'm going to connect it to, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it to here. And then I'm going to wrap more wire. And then what will happen is it'll be hanging. Hopefully you guys can see. It'll end up looking like this. You see how this top part is? Right here will end up looking like this. So I can see that in my mind, how I want to do it. And it is going to work out that way. Even if I end up putting a little bit more wire around here, it's still going to end up looking that way. But then you can see how unique the piece would look. Very different, unlike anything you've ever seen before. So it just takes some, figuring it out. Okay, well, that's not how that usually goes. Well, I don't care if that's not how it usually goes. That's how you end up coming out with real pretty pieces. You just got to kind of think outside the box. And I think we fall into this habit because somebody else's look like that. Ours have to look like that. Well, no, mine is not going to never look like what somebody else's look like. That's just the reality of it. But I like the way this came out. It's really pretty. I just really like that linked look, and I'm going to have to do more of these. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think. Jewelry by BDK, Darlene Knight, and thanks for watching.